Sorry for the interruption. Someone needed desperately to get in the building and forgot their key, so I had to go let them in. Okay, doesn't matter. Anyway, the next step after you have your box, okay, just like we did with the little sphere, right, is to determine where your sun is coming from. So I'm going to put my sun over here just to be different than the previous time I drew something for you, which means the sun is coming from above and the side. So my lightest area, right, is going to be on the top of that object. And so I put a very, 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 very fine kiss of value on the top because I don't like it when you leave objects with no value. You got all this beautiful paper to do something with, and to leave it white is rude to the paper that gave its life for you. Next step, the place farthest away from that object gets the darkest value. So I'm going to come in over here. It's the farthest away from the sun. Right, I'm going to put a value down. It's not quite dark enough because I want it to be like in this range of darkness. Okay, so I'm going to come back and put another layer of darkness, right, going the opposite direction. When I go the different directions, see how I can get all the way to the edges and it looks super crisp? That's what I'm looking for with you and your cubes, okay? Next step is these two values determine your light and your dark. So you need one here that's kind of in the middle because the sun kind of hits the side of that box, but not directly like it hits the top, okay? So I'm going to come in here. Notice I work really lightly, okay, so that I can come back and erase any of these stray lines if I need to, and they haven't left marks all the way to China on the paper, so I can take them off. Then I come in again the other direction to give it another layer of value. Okay, notice also that I keep my hands off of the paper. I do not shade using my finger. I let the pencil do the shading for me. I don't need to get my fingers dirty. My hand doesn't need to get particularly dirty. The side of my hand doesn't really even touch the paper, right? My pencil tip is usually the only thing that touches the paper. The next step, right, is to come in with your object and put a shadow. So if my sun is hitting this direction, right, and I've decided it's going this way, I'm going to come in. There's a shadow that comes off that way. Okay, if that's how I've determined, it's also going to come out a little bit this way, right? So I come in here, really dark, close to the object, and it lightens up as I get farther away. Right, same thing here. There's a really dark shadow right underneath the object, and it gets lighter as I come farther away. Part of that is from, like I showed you with the coaster on the table, because there's reflections from the white box onto the table or whatever surface it's on. Okay, and the other is that more light can come through those sides of the object, right, as you go. So I come in, put some value, beautiful box, beautiful, awesome, ta-da, the end.